Look like Cathy Engelbert is in some serious trouble after Caitlin Clark's brother went on live and called out her league referee.
Caitlin Clark has once again pulled out of the All-Star game after suffering another groin injury. This time, her brother went live on stream and harshly criticized the WNBA referees, openly questioning their decision, making
sports media, particularly one with the kind of ideology behind it as the Washington Post. This is a sports media outlet that is certainly going to be more in line with the old WNBA fandom, which, when this kind of article drops, should worry Cathy Engelbert.
Meanwhile, Cathy Engelbert is getting absolutely roasted by the media, worse than a Thanksgiving turkey. The Washington Post went as far as calling the league's officiating a direct threat to the game itself. This situation is spiraling out of control fast. But before we dive deeper into this chaos, let me know in the comments, do you think Cathy Engelbert should be removed from her position?
I'm here to tell you guys, it is not looking good for WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. Now, we know Cathy has seemingly found herself in Charlotte, well, a few times this season. Last year, it was her talking about they need the drama to get the league big. This year, it's her lack of no response to the WNBA referees, man. I mean, she's been completely silent on the matter. You didn't have head coaches. You didn't have players. Now you have had the biggest star in the league brother go on live and call out.
ANOTHER, week. Another Caitlin Clark injury. And once again, people are acting shocked as if WNBA officiating hasn't always been as useful as a chocolate teapot. Caitlin Clark, the same player who practically dragged this league into relevance on her own, is now sitting out the All-Star game with yet another groin injury. And how did it happen? Picture this. A knee straight to the stomach, no foul called, and referees who seem to think their whistles were just part of the outfit. It all started when Connecticut Sun's Dejounte Carrington introduced her knee to Caitlin's midsection during the game. In any other professional basketball league on earth, that's a clear foul. But in the WNBA, the refs stood there like they were watching a wildlife documentary, too afraid to interfere with the so-called natural order.
Caitlin.
And the most shocking part, this all happened just 38 seconds into the game. 38 seconds. Most fans hadn't even finished their first sip of overpriced stadium drinks, and Caitlin was already getting worked over like a heavy bag in a boxing gym. But the story doesn't end there. Here's where it really gets interesting. Brother Colin Clark decided he couldn't sit quietly while his sister was treated like a human punching bag, while the refs stood around looking clueless. So, what did he do? He jumped on a live stream and called out the entire WNBA officiating system, saying exactly what everyone with eyes has been thinking all season.
My Instagram, something. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Fixer repping WNBA, it's bad though. Calling out WNBA referees.
Hey, you the man! Hey, follow my boy, you know what the fuck going on?
Colin didn't just call out the referees. He exposed the entire league. And he did it with the kind of raw emotion that only comes from watching your own family member get mistreated on national TV, while the people paid to protect players just stand there. Silent, he said it straight. Fix your refereeing. It's terrible. And honestly, he's not wrong. The officiating has been so consistently bad that it's almost impressive in the worst way. You'd think they'd accidentally get a call right once in a while, but somehow they keep finding new ways to mess things up. Now let's talk about Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, who's been about as useful in this situation as a screen door on a submarine. Players are getting injured, coaches are losing their minds, and fans are lighting up social media with outrage. Meanwhile, Cathy has been quieter than a library on a Sunday morning.
It's so frustrating what they allow to happen to Caitlin Clark. I mean, this is cumulative. This is going to keep happening. This game alone, the amount of physical abuse that this girl's getting just hit with again and again and again.
The person who's supposed to be leading this league has been missing in action, like someone running away from responsibility. Players are openly calling out the officiating, head coaches are losing it on the sidelines. And now, players' family members are going viral for criticizing the league. But Cathy's response? Silence. It's like she's playing hide and seek. Except everyone already knows where the problem is. The refs have lost control. Players are getting hurt constantly. And the one person whose job is to fix this mess seems too busy admiring her expensive Valentino shoes to notice the league is burning down around her. And speaking of those shoe sluts, not forget that recent interview where Cathy proudly bragged about her footwear while her league was falling apart. She talked about her fancy shoes like she was on a runway, all while her star players were dropping like flies. This whole situation feels exactly like that This Is Fine meme. The only difference is, this time, the dog is wearing designer heels.
Because one of the institutions that's used to taking care of the league and sheltering the league and worshiping the league's sensibilities, you've lost them.
And then came that Washington Post article, setting the WNBA on fire with words. They didn't just call the officiating bad, they called it a threat to the very future of the league.
That have normally shielded the WNBA from, people with common sense, right? Normally, this kind of outlet is ones that love to refer to fans as being toxic or the new fandom, yada, 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 right? They're normally coming after the new fans to this league, not new fans to sports. But they are not in this case. In this case, they're calling out the WNBA and Cathy Engelbert. Why? Because of the officiating.
These are the same people who usually defend the WNBA no matter what. But now even they're saying the officiating isn't just bad, it's dangerous. When the Washington Post calls you out, you know it's serious. They even joked the league should change its logo to a bruise, because that's what really represents the game right now. The refs have swallowed their whistles all season, and the injuries prove it. Since opening day, there have been 141 injuries in a league with just 179 players. It's not a matter of if you'll get hurt, it's when. In the last 2.5 seasons, there have been 57 head and neck injuries. These aren't minor bumps, they're the kind of hits that can end careers. Meanwhile, the refs just stand there, watching. Even Rebecca Lobo had to start calling fouls live on air because the officials weren't doing it. She literally did their job for them. Right in front of the cameras.
Officiating and the amount of contact that's allowed on the perimeter has been a topic of conversation. It was brought up on the ESPN broadcast. It's been a gripe from you, from Becky Hammond, from Stephanie White. What do you see as the biggest issue there and how it could be resolved?
I'm grateful you asked this. I have no problem with the physicality. I think people are getting frustrated at the consistency. So it's like a ticky-tack here, and then someone gets absolutely assaulted over here. And where's the line? And when do we call it? And why do we call it? And I also think too, a lot of teams specifically play me very physical, which I get, just to try to wear me down throughout the game. But a foul is a foul. So a foul in the first quarter is a foul in the fourth quarter. And so it's hey, if you're not going to call it in the first, that's fine, but don't call it in the fourth. Or let me guard them that way that they guard me. And so I think that just the officiating across the board, people have been frustrated with the last.
About a month ago, Kelsey Plum went on a full-blown rant, dropping F-bombs left and right over all the scratches and bruises she's been dealing with because the refs refuse to protect players. When someone as professional as Kelsey Plum starts cursing on camera about officiating, you know the system is completely broken, and she's not alone. Look at the injury report: Nefessa Collier, Jonquil Jones, Sabrina Ionescu, Aja Wilson, Alyssa Thomas, Ryan Howard, Kalia Copper. It's basically a list of the league's top stars, all sidelined because the WNBA has turned into the Wild West with basketballs. The timing couldn't be worse. The league just signed a massive media deal, they're getting more attention than ever before, and now their biggest star is sitting out the All-Star game because someone treated her like a tackling dummy. It's like finally getting invited to the cool kids table, only to immediately spill spaghetti all over yourself. And as for Cathy Engelbert, she said something last year that's aging worse than milk left out in the desert sun.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rival.
Hear from Cathy. I am sick of this, bro. You need to come up with a systematic plan to fix this damn refereeing. I mean, it is getting so bad to the point now that Caitlin Clark has missed an appearance for the damn All-Star game. And I'm telling you right now, y'all ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself.